Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of overcoming objections in sales. Let's get started.
Oh, that's a big topic. So what makes overcoming objections so crucial in sales?
Well, think of sales as a lively conversation,
Right.
not just a transaction. When a client raises an objection, it's actually a sign they're interested.
Interesting. So objections are good signs?
Exactly. It's like they're looking for reasons to buy, not
hmm
reasons to walk away.
So how does one handle these objections effectively?
The key is to prevent them from arising in the first place
Yeah,
by establishing trust and asking the right questions.
but sometimes objections are inevitable, right? How do you navigate those?
Absolutely. And when they do come up, it's important to see them as an opportunity, not a setback.
hmm Could you give an example of that?
Sure. When a client says, I need to think about it, instead of pushing, you might say, I understand. What exactly makes you hesitate? This opens up
Right.
dialogue.
That makes sense. It's about digging deeper.
Exactly. Getting to the root of their concerns. And remember, the impact of communication is 90% nonverbal. So how we
Yeah.
say things matters more than what we say.
So tone and body language play a huge role?
Absolutely. A professional salesperson uses at least 9 different tones of
Wow.
voice to connect with clients on different levels.
That's fascinating. But what about when a client says it's too expensive? How do you handle that?
The price objection. It's important to understand what they mean by too expensive.
Right.
Is it compared to competitors, or is it beyond their budget? Exactly. You might say, are you talking about price or value?
hmm
This helps shift the conversation.
But sometimes clients are just fixated on price.
True, but you can highlight the additional value they get. For instance, yes, the price is higher, and that's because we offer such and such benefits.
Right. I see. It's about demonstrating value over cost.
Exactly. And sometimes you can ask, besides the price, what else is important to you?
Yeah.
This uncovers other needs.
So it's not just about overcoming objections, but understanding client needs?
Precisely. It's all about communication and building trust.
Right.
If there's no trust, objections will keep coming.
Makes sense. But what if a client says, I work with your competitors?
That's actually a great opportunity. You can say, I understand. May I explain how we differ and the additional benefits we provide?
So always turn objections into opportunities?
Exactly. And never get defensive. It's about being professional and respectful.
Yeah, got it. But don't you think that sometimes we're too quick to defend ourselves?
You have a point. It's important to balance showcasing our value without sounding defensive.
Exactly. So how do we strike that balance?
It's all about listening first. When a client says, you're all the same, acknowledge their feelings. I understand why you'd feel that way. Could you share more about your experience?
Right. That way they feel heard.
Exactly. And then you can tailor your response to address their specific concerns, making the conversation more effective.
This is really insightful. But I wonder, what about clients who give excuses like, send me an email?
The classic brush-off. You can say, I'd be happy to, but I can explain it briefly now if you have a moment.
Yeah.
Keep the conversation going.
So always aim to keep the dialogue open?
Exactly. And adapt your approach based on their responses.
Right.
It's about being flexible.
You've given so many great tips. Any final thoughts on handling objections?
Just remember that objections are a natural part of sales. Embrace them as opportunities to build deeper relationships and always focus on how you can genuinely help the client.
That's fantastic advice. Thanks for sharing all this.
My pleasure. It's like Richard Bandler says, may you have the courage to break the patterns in your life that are no longer serving you.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Well, this has been a great discussion.
Indeed. Thanks for joining me. Until next time.